Sparky Coach, Poddy, Crowie and Cam, two peas in a pod, two bees in a bonnet, two
carrots in the ground.
Two dudes in front of her, two carrots in the ground.
Two Sparkies.
Two
Just
cool lords, Sparkies. Just hanging out, having a chat. We're talking about favourites today, favourite jobs, favourite staff members, favourite clients we've worked for. Just some good times, some Sparky good times that have happened. But hey, to kick it off, favourite sports person. What do you got of all time?
All time, the late great, unfortunately, Shane Keith Warne.
Oh, why?
Why? I mean, obviously, first and foremost, fantastic. Leg spin bowler, changed cricket. Was just probably steal this from Howie. Shout out to Howie from the Howie Games podcast and Fox Sports and
if you're all listening.
Of the above. If you're listening, because I know you do, a real bums on seat sort of professional athlete. Was an entertainer, made it exciting, had the flair, had all the off-field going-ons as well. So he was a bit of a character. He definitely wasn't vanilla, put it that way. But yeah, I just loved the way he lived life and carried on and but ultimately just a real entertainer. I think is the sort of key to it. You just wanted, when he bowled, you just wanted to watch and see what was going to happen. And you're always in the game with him, I felt. You could be none for, they could be none for 300 and you just Warnie could rip it here and it just changes and he'd been there and done it. So yeah, fantastic. I sort of thought, what about you?
Is there a favourite memory? Is there a couple or one memory that you're that was the pinnacle?
Yeah, so I remember his 700th wicket at the MCG. I wasn't there. I remember watching that on TV. That's pretty cool. The way he sort of bowled Strauss, which was a bit of a ripping leg turner, and the way the crowd carried on, all that sort of stuff. But probably, that one. I remember his hat trick at the SCG, 94, I think it was, more so because of Booney's catch to take the hat trick, diving full strength at short leg. And then probably the best sort of memory is the Ashes in 2005. We lost it in England, and his life off field was imploding. But he had this ability to he took 40 wickets in a 5 match. It's ridiculous. His life was imploding off the field, and he just would turn up and just perform at this peak level. Just have a good time. So yeah, probably some core memories.
Yeah, mine's Andrew Johns.
Andrew Johns.
Yeah, just frog on him. Always loved him. I guess same thing on field and off field.
Yeah.
But on field, couple of key memories. Obviously, 2005 State of Origin, Game 2 and Game 3. You know what I'm talking about?
I think every New South Wales Rugby League fan still clings to that to this day.
Yeah, that was. We haven't won since. Couple of glitches in the mainframe, but that just the foresight, the passing. There's a couple of games I remember. We used to have everyone over for the sort of handball nights at my house. We have a few beers, have heaps of handball, and go out to the local Carmen's, if you're from Sutherland Shire, do some dance party to 50 Cent.
Shout out
to Carmen's. I think it's still going.
Near the is it near Northies? Or
it's near Miranda Fair. No, it's in Miranda.
Miranda.
So a couple bit inland. Yeah. Anyway, I remember I think it was 2002 and Joey was just on a tear. I remember a couple of key moments playing the Sharkies, and I love the Sharkies, but just kind of doing what he wanted with the football. And there's this one banana kick. When banana kicks are coming in, put this one banana into Mark Hughes.
Yeah.
And everyone's just what the hell just happened? That's just so good. So I love Joey. If you're listening, give me a call. I'd love to have a beer with him, actually.
Do you reckon part of the love for him is the fact that there's Joey off the field and Joey on the field, or is it just purely because
I think it's just I always had a soft spot for the Knights.
Yep.
And then I think seeing him win the 97 grand final, 01 grand final. Obviously the 97 grand final had less it meant less. I mean, I'm not a player, I can't say that, but it looked like there was an asterisk there because of the split with Super League. So I think if you won that on either side, there'd be that element of that, there were other teams you didn't play against.
Yeah.
But I think the 01 grand final really cemented the fact that was good. So that must have felt really good as a player. Anyway, I think that was great. 24-0 at halftime against Para. But I think they're looking back and watching that game back, they almost lost. It was 30-24 at full time. Not almost lost, but like it got close.
Yeah, I think also
they started celebrating in the 54th minute.
and then they celebrated for 3 weeks apparently afterwards.
Yeah.
But
anyway, talking about favourite times and good memories and like, do you have a time on site, like from site work or office work? Let's go site first. On site where you're like, that's a good time?
Yeah, I can distinctly remember a company I worked for, sort of post apprenticeship, a year or so out. I went and worked for a real good mate. Shout out to Zil. Went and worked for his old man. They heavily.
What does he do?
Who?
The old man.
Electrician.
Oh.
So I worked for his dad. So Zilman Electrical. They're still kicking. Saw Mark the other day. They were basically like exclusively new builds. So for various builders, had a volume builder. I mean, you would call them a project home builder because they were in a lot of the estates, but they were sort of that upper tier one. So they weren't like busting out 300, 400 homes a year. They sort of capped it around not capped it, but they got up to like 1 or 150 a year. And went and worked there just for a change. And I just remember it being like, early 20s. You qualified, so you're earning some decent money. And sort of knew what was going on. It's like, you know what you're doing. And it was just like a super enjoyable time because generally we would have between probably 4 to 6, sometimes more people on site at any given time. And we would always work with, generally had a crew of like 4 or so that we'd always work with and just rinse and repeat. And just a really enjoyable time because like it wasn't overly physically taxing, wasn't mentally taxing either. It was just like every day was just like fun. Like lots of pranks on site, like you'd screw the portaloo shut when someone's in there, or you'd reverse the car up against it, or the apprentice would go get smoko and you'd like shoot 50 nails into the top truss of their tool bag, and then you'd sit down. One of the best ones I ever saw was Sam Denny, shout out. He's a legend, Brisbane Sparky still. He had been picked on a bit by one of the tradies. Had his toolbox there. So during the day, he emptied the toolbox, drilled through and green plugged to the floor his toolbox, and then put it all back together, cleaned up the whole site, and that was the only thing that he had to take left. And everyone's like bailing, and then tradie comes on to pick it up, and he's like, that's it, obviously. So that was pretty funny. He used to do lots of, get the duct and tie it, zip tie it to the drive shaft. So when someone drives off, everyone's like, what's wrong with my car? So they'd pull up and stop, and then everyone else would just zoom past, just like finger out the window sort of thing, like, sucker, enjoy. So yeah, just a lot of fun on the job. So that's sort of like a really good time for me.
Yeah, interesting. I'm just flashing back to some good times we had. And I don't know, I always loved the rough-in. Like clean, easy, hopefully not too many people on site, good crew there. So it's like some of my favorite times were obviously working with people. I don't really, I'm a big people person, love working in and around people, getting to know people. And I think there's a really good stage of business we were like rough into. I was still sort of part on tools, part off tools. And I don't know, just like I think with a rough in, the amount of work you can achieve in one day, it looks so glamorous, end of the day, we've like smashed out that whole thing. I'm not really meticulous. Like I don't want to spend a lot of time on the one thing. I'd rather the glamorous. Give me the glamour. Give me the Fergie glamorous.
Yeah.
But some good times I think we had, like, I'm a big believer that if the Christmas time of year, you just go to every single Christmas party you have. Like I remember the last few years we're going to like, 8, 10, 12 Christmas parties and going on boats and going out for dinners and going camping. I didn't. It's not that. It's not my. But there's a point of a team of staff. There's a point where it's not your job to do the work. It's your job to be around the people and get to know the builders, get to know your clients, break some bread with them, have some beers with them, have some coffees with them. And we went camping with a few of them and like take your operations managers or your staff. Like that was the best time because it was like, am I getting paid for this? is this hourly rate? Yeah, but
invoice?
I could. But that's the thing with those people. I probably could have sent an invoice for that. You know, they had that relationship and that bonding, and I just love that. Like looking back at that. But I think for me, if anything stands out, it's the scissor lift days. Just being on a scissor.
Like EWP full stop.
Oh yeah. Have you got a
lift.
license?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never had a license.
Yeah, look, not surprised.
Yeah.
Cowboy operation.
Yeah, that's what you did here. They never asked though.
Well, yeah, it's only required when something goes wrong where you get it ask. Like, it never happens. It's like any license.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Have you got a particular job, and like I want to be specific here, like was there a particular job that it was your favorite, or one that comes to mind that you sort of like, that was just a really good job, like came together, it looks awesome, or like it's a landmark feature or something like that?
I think for me, like on that, I don't have a particular job, but I'm flashing back to moments where I might have stepped a little bit out of my comfort zone with a quote or the job, and we did it. And I realized that we did it. And there's this one, we did this like big switchboard upgrade in Surrey Hills, and a huge one. It was like, 60 grand in a weekend kind of situation. A lot of people doing a lot of time. So real good crew on site, got some burger. There's crews on site where it takes someone 2 hours to go and get the lunch order. Yeah. And, but like real good times. And so that one was a little bit out of the scope, like of my scope, and I remember actually freaking out. Like the Ausgrid guy came in and he goes, "I think this room's a little bit small." And it's like, he didn't say that. It's that Adam Sandler. Like this would have been really good information yesterday, like when you came and looked at the job last week. But I think doing something out of the comfort zone, whether it was deck work or like not a job stands out, but times when I pushed myself and we got it done, and I realized it's actually quite easy. Those sort of times. But how about you?
Yeah, I've probably got one project there's a couple, but one that sort of really stands out. I guess probably for me, in regards to like my own business sort of journey, a radiology clinic we did. So Mermaid Beach Radiology, that's the name of the clinic. We did it a few years ago now.
How did you get into medical centres? Because it's such a...
I had medical experience in the previous company.
Okay, for someone else?
Yeah, so when I worked in a previous company, we had medical experience.
And did the rules stay the same? Yeah.
So I'd only done it like a few years earlier. And yeah, it just came about like through just being contacted. Are you interested? Are you capable? And I was like, yeah, it's like literally, it was 3-minute drive from my house sort of thing. So, I guess like one thing that like was really sort of, I don't know if you can relate to this at all, but it sort of made me feel that like A, I was capable, but B, like you're part of the like community now. Does that make sense? Things like, this is in my own backyard. Like, people like can see that what we're capable of and what we can do. Just a really enjoyable job. Like Zane, the owner, who we still do a lot of work for, is just a ripper guy. Also him and his wife Crowie, just wonderful, wonderful people. And he just loves a bit of pizzazz. So it was fully automated, really cool material, products and fit out and things like that. And it just came together like really well, like no issues, minimal like fix ups and things like that. It just came together like super good. And like one of those jobs, like everyone was just really good to work with on there, from like the project manager, Jeff was a legend, right through to all the other sub trades. And we just like got it done. Like, and it came together and just really proud of sort of thing. And, I drive past it probably nearly every day sort of thing. So that's the good thing about those high-level jobs when everyone's working together. And that's why you will see a lot of those jobs go to cost plus, because there's so much project management, so much unforeseen, so many site walkarounds. Just when you think you've finished that site walkaround, here's another walkthrough kind of thing. But favourite client for you? Favourite client? Oh, might get caught out here. Nah, or a favourite like just type of client?
No.
Specific type of client.
I'll share mine about your time. We had this client, famous guy, and would take us out for Christmas parties, and they're just like so worth so much money. Had so many amazing houses in the eastern suburbs, owned like blocks of Surrey Hills, and 4 houses in Point Piper, like looking at the Harbour Bridge, and just like, and him and his wife were just the best kind of people, and every invoice was paid. Like, he was just a man and she was like a woman of the people. Like, they would talk to you, like, no sign of pretentiousness, like no sign of like, we're better than you. Just super cool people. And that was the sickest, because I was like, we were pretty lo-fi in and I feel like we attracted that kind of client. Like, we were really easy to deal with. We were really honest, and in a world where he or she might get taken advantage of, we're not like that. So that was awesome. And to see that relationship last over so long. And he was my favorite client. Favorite staff member, fire out.
Well, I guess so. Like, for me, probably I don't have a specific favorite client, but there's a type of person that I want. And I think a lot of it comes back to just being grateful. So I really get on and really resonate with people who doesn't matter where they come from, because obviously you're dealing with people with loads of money. Some people probably don't have much money. Some people fall in between. But generally, when you're dealing with like some of the custom properties we've worked on and a couple of bigger jobs, like people, they got a little bit of money to spend and stuff like that. But just people like saying thanks and also being like, man, this is a good job. Like, so that it really makes you feel appreciated. And I think it's like a bit of a leveler for human beings, that they don't think that it probably like resonates with what you sort of said there, that I definitely have sort of just brushed some people who were just really demanding and ungrateful, and picking apart certain parts of you. Like, well, mate, do you not remember that we like came in and helped you out on that Saturday to get like when it was urgent, when it wasn't urgent, sort of thing. So I think it's about finding like like your person or your people sort of thing that you sort of get with. But yeah, that's sort of.
Yeah, and I'm going to say my favorite staff member.
Yeah,
this guy. Shout out to Mikey. Oh man, he was my mate Chris's cousin, and Chris was like, got to give Mikey a shot. And I was just going, oh yeah, okay. Kind of that time when we probably needed to hire an apprentice, and he was maybe the 3rd or 4th apprentice that came on, and worked with him for the first day at Rose Bay, Sonoma, this bakery, Sonoma. It was like a cafe there, and talking like couple of catenaries around, heaps of circuits, like cafe. So, you run a lot of circuits. Like, we're a big believer with cafes. Like, you throw on one circuit for 2 PowerPoints, basically. A lot of
dedicated circuits.
Well, especially because they don't know how they're going to operate yet. So it's like they're going to. I flash back to the grill. What the hell is the grill? They go, oh, we bought a 15 amp grill. We bought this. We bought that. So we had enough experience to be like, and that's why they never looked anywhere else for quotes or anything, because we were like, well, we're going to future-proof you. And a lot of times in even the kitchen area, it was 1 PowerPoint per circuit, because it was like, this might not be dedicated now, but it will be in the future.
Blenders and they 10 amps each.
Or the grills. They're having like 4 grills and stuff. The grills are killer, especially when they clamp the cable onto it all the time. But I remember working with Mikey this day, and first day, just like onto it.
Yeah.
Just so onto it. And I was like, we're talking about life, and he's just getting the work done. I was like, this could be the most naturally talented kid, so polite, so nice, great family, so good with his hands. I'm like, you are my favorite. Unfortunately, he left after he finished. He went to the instrumentation dark side. I think he works for Clipsal now. But top guy. If you listen, Mikey, we love you.
Shout out.
And you can always come back to the business I don't earn anymore.
But yeah, so I think it's always good to have a bit of a chat if you're catching up with any mates or.
See, this is funny for me because you can't share your favorite client or staff member because it's so close to home. It's like sharing about your favorite child for you. But so my kids are grown up and moved out.
Say whatever he wants. But yeah, I think it's a good conversation, even amongst your staff. I know I asked the guys and girls the other day just to sort of share a particular type of work they love doing. It's good to get to know. It's also good to sometimes just reminisce as well, a little bit as well, with what you've achieved. Also, too, particularly when you come from different walks and you've worked for different companies in the past and different experiences, sharing it and getting understanding, because what it can often do is it can highlight what people's exposure is. And you're like, oh, I had no idea that you worked on a processing Coca-Cola Amtel facility and things like that. So it can also unlock people's expertise as well and options. So
and it's good to talk about because, it's funny when you talk about top memories, you're talking about, scissor lifts or like a good style of open, clean work or a high-end residential home or a medical center that, when you say high-end, using the term a little bit loosely, like a job where everyone cares a lot. And a job where the trades you're working with, you're not going to find them at Bunnings, Shout out to Bunnings. We love you. You might find them at Bunnings getting something, but like you're not going to find them on every corner. So it's when you're talking about the things the good times, you're also referencing, it's usually something to do with people and the right kind of job. So if you're working with the right kind of people and the right kind of jobs, you're probably happy. And, you're not like, we go through ups and downs, but chances are this might make you reflect on who do I like working with and who do I like working for. And interesting, the best client, like I shared with him about him before, the invoices were paid every fortnight. Like set your watch to it. Check in the mail, checks. You used to pay checks. Have to walk them to the bank, and crazy. But like, so it's like a full holistic view of like great work, good paying, good person. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what you've got to provide as a business owner. You've got to provide great work. You've got to provide solid like invoices and quotes where no one's expecting you not to make money, but you've got to work with good people. So people aren't going to continually use your product if your staff members suck, or if they're rude, or if they're late, or if they're disorganized, or if they open the back door of the van and a bit of 2.5 roll went down the car into the Lamborghini, right? So that kind of stuff. So have a stop and think about, when were you really happy at work? And chances are it was something to do with you had time, or you had money in the bank, or it was people and a certain type of job. And let's go after that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's a really good opportunity moving into 2024, the new year, to have a look and be like, these are the people I like working for. These are the type of jobs we like doing, and without doing this massive, big, pick apart and sort of some kind of profiling on who you like working for. Just simply ask yourself, when have I been the happiest at work, and when have been happiest people working for, and then you've got yourself a target market that then you can go after.
So good. So reflect and resolve and look forward, and we'll see you guys soon.
Cheers. Thanks for listening.
Bye.